Well, good morning, my life GPSers. How are you? I haven't been chatting with you guys for a minute, but I've been working on a number of things. So, anyway, today I wanted to come and talk to you about your money woes. And a lot of our issues with money are, inside of us. And, you are the sum total of all the experiences that you have been through and that you've allowed and that you've tolerated. And so, the one way that we can break through in any area of life, number one, is to face the reality, to face those things that made us what we are. And if we don't like what we see, then of course, we have to take steps to change it, but we have to decide that that's what we're going to do. So, this book that I've been reading is called The Energy of Money. And it is really, really cool. It had a really interesting exercise that I actually took because I felt like, I wasn't exactly where I wanted to be either. And I wanted to, well, actually, let me take that back. When I first was reading the book, I was like, I don't really need to do this little exercise. Like, really, I looked at the questions. I was like, whatever. But you know what? I said, I said I was going to do everything in the book because I said I wanted to make a change. So how am I going to make a change if I don't actually do what it takes to make the change? So I went on and I did it. So what I did was I got this little book right here and I answered the questions in this book. And so what you'll want to do is you'll have a little book or maybe a sheet of paper where you will record your answers. But I just wanted to have one place where I could go back and I could look through. So I felt like, I wanted to pick up the 200-pound mirror, look at myself, see it for what it was and make the necessary adjustments. And, in our subconscious, we are programmed to avoid pain. And so in avoiding pain, we don't always deal with the things that we need to deal with. And so, I'm no different than you. I have things that I try to avoid, but, I'm really at this point, this year, my theme, living my life like it's golden. I'm doing everything that I always wanted to do, and I'm not really worrying about what other people think. And, I'm crashing through, all my issues just like I help other people do. A lot of times you're really good at helping other people do things that you yourself don't necessarily fully do. So I'm really trying to lead the charge on that. And so with this exercise, I found it to be very helpful. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So you want to give yourself about 40 minutes to do it, and you can chunk it out in like 10-minute sections. And you can write it down or you can do it on a computer. I don't know. I think pen and paper seems to work better. But basically, I'm going to read this. It says, begin by telling the story of your life using money as the theme. Begin with your earliest childhood memories and continue right up to the present. Write it in narrative form like this. I first learned about money when I was, like whatever age you were. And then the questions that I'm going to read to you, it says, let the questions below spark your recollections. You don't have to answer them all in your money autobiography. They're just listed here to make your task easier. But keep in mind that when you feel a strong urge to avoid a question or label as insignificant, it's probably one worth seriously considering. Because again, anything that we feel is painful, we automatically want to avoid it. But if you're about to avoid it, it's probably one of the most important things that you really need to address. So keep that in mind. Now, what I'm going to do is read the questions twice so that you can go through and actually, be able to write it down. Or you can just pause the video, answer the question, move on to the next one, however you want to do it. It's a video. You can rewind it. Okay, it says, remember, you may not think you have the time or energy to do this. Your mind has probably already come up with a dozen good reasons to skip on. But if you're willing, you will create real breathing room for yourself, space for your miracles in your life regarding money. So please allow yourself to be willing and proceed to answering the question. So let me go with question number one. What were your family's financial circumstances when you were born? And, remember you'll say, when I was born, my family's financial circumstance was, and then you're just writing in the story form. Excuse me. So again, what were your family's financial circumstances when you were born? Number 2, when did you first learn about money? Was it from your father or mother? How old were you? What were the circumstances? When did you first learn about money? Was it from your father or mother? How old were you? What were the circumstances? Number 3, did you have an allowance? Did you have to work for it? Or was it given to you, even if you didn't do chores to earn it? If you have children, does this affect how you handle allowances with them? Did you have an allowance? Did you have to work for it? Or was it given to you, even if you didn't do chores to earn it? If you have children, does this affect how you handle allowances with them? When was the first time you bought something with money you had saved? Where were you? What did you buy? Was it money you earned or money someone gave you? That's number 4. Again, when was the first time you bought something with money you had saved? Where were you? What did you buy? Was it money you earned or money someone gave you? Number 5, do you remember your first paycheck? How did you earn it? How much was in it? And what did you do with it? Do you remember your first paycheck? How did you earn it? How much was in it? And what did you do with it? Number 6, do you remember ever losing money? When was the earliest time? What happened? Has this happened to your children? How did you handle it? Do you ever remember losing money? When was the earliest time? What happened? Has this happened to your children? How did you handle it? Number 7, did you dream of one day having a particular job or career? Have you achieved this? Why or why not? Was the amount of money you could earn a factor in your choice of careers? Did you dream of one day having a particular job or career? Have you achieved this? Why or why not? Was the amount of money you could earn a factor in your choice of careers? Number 8, if your relationship with money were a personal relationship, how would you describe it? Do you fear, love, hate, depend upon, feel possessive of, or feel generous with money? Just write whatever comes to mind in this area. If your relationship with money were a personal relationship, how would you describe it? Do you fear, love, hate, depend upon, feel possessive of, or feel generous with money? Write whatever comes to your mind in this area. Number 9, how do you relate to people who have more money than you or less money? How do you relate to people who have more money than you or less money than you? Number 10, do you recall your mother or father's relationship with money? If you didn't live with them, then pick people who were your primary caregivers for this question. Number 10, do you recall your mother or father's relationship with money? If you didn't live with them, then pick people who were your primary caregivers for this question. Number 11, how did the above people's relationship with money affect you? Did they have expectations of you? What were they? Were there some aspects of money that were not discussed? Even though they were not discussed, you may have known what they were. If you have children, do you have similar expectations of them? Do you treat them the same way you were treated? And if you're married or in a committed relationship, do these expectations affect your partner? That's a lot, so I have to read it again. How did the above people's relationship with money affect you? Did they have expectations of you? What were they? Were there some aspects of money that were not discussed? Even though they were not discussed, you may have known what they were. If you have children, do you have similar expectations of them? Do you treat them the same way you were treated? If you're married or in a committed relationship, do these expectations affect your partner? Number 12. Have you ever accomplished an important task or project involving money? What was it? What did you do that made you successful? Have you ever accomplished an important task or project involving money? What was it? And what did you do that made you successful? Number 13. There's 20 questions, by the way. Was there a time when you tried but did not accomplish a task or project regarding money? What was it? And what did you do that made you unsuccessful? Was there a time when you tried but did not accomplish a task or project regarding money? What was it? What did you do that made you unsuccessful? Have you ever given or received gifts of money? If yes, how much? For what reason? And how did you feel about this? Have you ever given or received gifts of money? If yes, how much? For what reason? And how did you feel about this? Number 15. If you were to characterize your own brand of money craziness, how would you describe it? If you were to characterize your own brand of money craziness, how would you describe it? Number 16. Where do you want to see yourself in 10 years from now regarding money? How much in savings? How much in investments? How much do you see yourself making 10 years from now? Where do you want to see yourself 10 years from now regarding money? How much in savings? How much in investments? How much do you see yourself making 10 years from now? Number 17, regarding money, for what do you want to be known? If people were to talk about you and your relationship with money, what would you want them to say? Regarding money, for what do you want to be known? If people were to talk about you and your relationship with money, what would you want them to say? Number 18. Are you afraid that money is not spiritual enough for you, or that your spiritual path isn't compatible with financial success? Are you afraid that money is not spiritual enough for you, or that spiritual path isn't compatible with financial success? Number 19, what do you spend money on? And number 20, what do you not spend money on? So those are the 20 questions. And I'm going to just read this 2 paragraphs here. Don't limit yourself to the questions that I just read. If there's something omitted that gets to the heart of your relationship with money, please write about it. When you finish your autobiography, give it a title that pinpoints what you discovered about your relationship with money. Is this title a theme that reflects your relationships with other forms of energy like love, time, physical vitality, and creativity? If so, what's similar? What did you notice? Are there issues and themes that keep coming up? Are there events and accomplishments that you're proud of? And are there things you hope that no one ever finds out about? What was the most difficult question on the list for you to think about, and why? Please be compassionate towards yourself as you look over your life with money. Remember, we all make mistakes. We all have good times. Remember that any painful material that you've turned up is pointing you in the direction of what needs to be healed. And we'll do plenty of healing in the process. And if possible, share what you've written with a friend or a loved one. No matter how long or short your autobiography, congratulate yourself on being willing to write it. You have begun some important work by allowing yourself to see facets of your relationship with money that, though rooted in the past, strongly influence your present decisions in life. Just allow yourself to sit with the insights and revelations that have come from the work we've just done. They may seem important right now, but I guarantee you that you'll go way beyond these insights to a new way of relating to money. Remember the power of being willing to open any locked doors that have restricted the flow of money's energy into your life. So I know it was lengthy, okay, but it's important. So I hope that you got your little book or, a sheet of paper, and that you will maybe just listen to the question, stop the video, write down your thoughts, write down your reality so that you can see your life on paper, so you can understand why you maybe hold on to money without spending it, or why you spend frivolously, or why you never have enough. I found it to be very eye-opening. I realized, a time in my life where circumstances caused me to go down a path that I remained on for so many years, and I didn't even realize it. And I was like, wow, and just at that moment when I realized it, I was able to make a decision to, make a turn. And so that's what I, want for you guys as well. For me, this year, I'm on a mission to create 1,000 change makers, or help 1,000 people make powerful changes in their life. And so one of the ways that I can do that is by helping people with their money issues, because we all have money issues in one way, shape, or form. And so one of the other things that I know is that sometimes, our personalities, everybody has a specific way they deal with things. And one thing about us is when we are faced with anything that we consider painful, we will avoid it. Or we just have our personal blocks, like, oh no, pain, avoid, and sometimes you need to work through those blocks, but sometimes you can't even see them. Like, you don't even know they're there. They're like shadows. Like, oh my gosh, I can't seem to break through. I can't figure out how to make the connection. So, that's one of the areas that I specialize in. I specialize in being able to help people break through the blocks that they have set up in their lives. And sometimes you just need that coach to just, kick you and force you, into the realm that you really didn't want to go. And then when you get there and you face it, you're like, oh my gosh, life is so much better. Who knew? But sometimes you just won't do it on your own. So, if you need help with that, feel free to visit me at winwithangel.com, or you can just inbox me, and, maybe we can have a Skype session, and I can help you break through the blockages that you may be having in your life, because I believe that we all are born with a purpose. We all are responsible to uncover what that is, and to get our gifts and talents out in the world, that we should package it and monetize it, and everyone can, live the life of their dreams and manifest their vision. And that's really my goal and my purpose, is to help you do just that. So with that being said, thank you so much for taking time to watch. I pray that you will, make a comment, that you will, like the video, share the video with your friends, anyone who that may be having challenges in life. I would love to be a blessing to them. And again, I thank you so much for taking time out of your life, 17 minutes and 45 seconds of your life, to listen to little old me. All right, well, that's all I have for today. Thank you. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the wealthy side.